Hello everyone, it's VJ Franz K, and here I have another art supply unboxing. These are the new Sharpie Creative Markers, and they are the Earth Tones colors. It's a new set of colors. You can order them in, I think there is a 12-pack, or you can get them in these two 5-packs, which were the first ones that I noticed online, so I got them this way, in a package of earth tones, and then I think these are the tropical colors, a second set of earth tones. But anyway, a new set of colors in addition to the traditional Sharpie Creative Markers, which come in these more usual primary colors, but then the earth tones, a new set of colors, and I thought they would be perfect to use on this painting that I've been working on, so let's get right into it. So if you haven't seen my other videos with Sharpie Creative Markers, let me just remind you what they are. They are a special formula of marker, which is somewhere between ink and a paint, and that means that you can color with brighter colors over a darker background on paper, on metal, on glass, or basically any surface. So that can be very good for your art projects, and I have really enjoyed using them. We'll try this light green for a start here. And these particular markers are what they call bullet tip. Bullet tip. You can see the shape here. And the other creative markers also are available in this, which is called brush tip. And actually, brush tip are the ones that I prefer to use. It's narrow and it's flexible, whereas the bullet tip is a bit larger, it's rounded, it's less flexible. So I haven't seen the earth tones yet available with the brush tip, but I hope that they will make them in brush tip, because I like the brush tips much more. It gives a better sense of, it's more possibilities for shaping your lines depending on how you do it. But notice I'm able to color over with this light green color over this dark orange red color here. I'm going to zoom in a bit more with the lens so you can fully see that. This shows you the great quality of Sharpie Creative Markers, which it is a similar formula. That's kind of a tongue twister, I suppose. Similar formula to Sharpie, Posca markers and other brands of paint markers that you might find online or you might find in your local art store. So let's see, I'll zoom out. The camera missed my details there, but you see I can do this lighter green over the dark red-orange lines that I made, and this is acrylic paint. When I'm doing my artwork, I usually use a combination of acrylic paint for the large areas, and then I will use brush pens for some of the smaller details and the edges and things like that, because if you think about it, the paint that you buy in a tube is a lot less expensive than if you were to cover the same area using brush pens. You will use up your brush pens very fast if you color a bunch of large areas. So there it is. That's a light green color. It's one of these new earth tones, and let's see. I guess I have also here in this tropical set, I have this reddish orange, and I think I've seen these advertised with a marketing tie-in with the Lion King Mufasa sequel, or technically it's a prequel animated CG realistic animal film. And it is true that with these earth tone colors you could draw a more accurate picture of life on the savannah or something like that. So that could be good. Anyway, so here then is this red orange, like this color, and yes, it does indeed match with what I was doing previously on this painting with acrylic paint. Notice how I can also cover over that green then with this mostly opaque orange, if I choose. Make some orange areas here. So yes, once again, Sharpie creative markers are turning out to be one of my recent favorites, and they are so convenient to bring with you anywhere to be able to do paint type creativity without worrying about carrying liquid paints in a way that would easily spill. So that can be wonderful, and I have such fun drawing pictures anywhere using these markers and enjoying the spontaneity of doing that. And if I make a mistake in the pictures, I've noticed that with hand sanitizer or with alcohol wipes or anything like that, you can quickly brush off a mistake that you make with your markers before, especially before the paint has dried. One thing I can already tell you that is a downside of buying them in these 5-packs, I thought about it. What is a reason why you wouldn't want to buy it in these 5-packs? And one of the reasons is because you don't get the white and you don't get the black paint markers, which if you're doing really any kind of art, but particularly comic art, graffiti art, or things like that, you will always need the brightest white and the darkest black to be able to do outlining, to be able to do highlights, to be able to do eyes, teeth, things like that. On almost any image you will need some of these colors. So, and yes, it's nice that they also include a gray, because the more you learn to use gray in your images, you'll get better shading and better blending and stuff. But I wish that in every set of these markers they actually included 2 black and 2 white. That would be so handy, because you know, if you're doing comic art, like I said, invariably you'll run out of black for the outlining, and you know, you'll need the white for the highlighting and the eyes and everything like that. But of course some of them get misplaced or you forget them, and you need another one. Let's see, I'll just show you here. The white is able to be seen over whatever other colors that you have previously put down. And that is amazing, because with conventional markers, Sharpie or whatever other markers that you usually use, you are only able to work from light to dark, and you can't go back. You can't go back on steps, but as you can see there, I'm able to take the negative space out of the line right there, this green. It works out quite well. Let me see. So on this one, I have this blue, and this is sort of a purple pink, and then this is a deep gray blue. And for this image, I'm not going to need these particular colors. But let's take a look at this other set here, or this other set of 5. So there is a light blue, sort of like water, a more flower pinkish purple, and then this sort of pinkish orange, an orange, and a more, it's a less bright yellow, and it's more a natural yellow as opposed to the other one, which is sort of like an electric yellow, you know. So I can see fine differences in the markers. So this time I will open it from this side using the scissors I got from Daiso, and we're going to talk about recent art supplies from Daiso too in the next video. But anyway, it is useful to keep these packages around for a little while, because they can be a holder for your markers, and then you put them back in, keep them organized. Now, once again, another downside of the Creative Marker line is that they don't have the names. They don't have the names of the colors printed on them anywhere. And you say, oh, well, why should that matter when the cap has a little plastic thing that shows the color, and then the lower part of the marker has a thing that also shows the color? And the answer is that yes, you can see the color, but when you're dealing with fine gradations of fine differences in the blues and greens and some of these other colors, a few of the markers are quite close in color, and so you might mistake one for another without a printed name telling you the number of a color or the word name of a color, like aquamarine blue, for example. And so it would be nice to know that this is a certain kind of orange or something like that, so we can tell them apart. So yes, please, sometimes I will write on the side of it what color it is, just to help me remember while I'm working on a project. So here is the orange. See, I'll zoom the camera back a bit here. Maybe move the camera up there so you can see more of that orange. There we go. There's a nice line. Notice that I'm able to go from thin to wide lines depending on how much pressure I'm adding to the marker. But like I was saying, the brush tips are even better in that way, in that they're really able to go from thin to wide. I will show you that brush tip in a moment as a comparison. So here it is going over this iridescent green color. Now it's interesting, different paint may or may not be able to cover other paint, and in this case it is kind of having trouble fully going over and covering this iridescent green. And the formulas do vary by the brand, obviously, but also even by the individual color. You'll notice that certain colors just can't go over certain other colors. It's interesting. And you'll have to learn to deal with that as you go, basically. So here in this area of orange, I'm going to fill in some more of that white and then draw that through. Yeah, it looks like it belongs there. I really like to do these sort of swirling lines. And these markers are quite good for that, even though, alright, so here is the light orange. I'm going to bring in this slightly different orange, see? Once again, this is a more earth tone natural orange, and this is a more, from the regular set, a more electric orange. I guess it could be described. But here is the brush tip. Just a quick comparison here. This one isn't totally fresh, so it's a bit, the tip is a bit dull, but you can see the really sharp line I'm able to get using the brush tip and the bullet tip. The bullet tip just can't compare. And you think, oh, but you can't get a wide line with the brush tip, but you can. You totally can. Observe. So if I have the brush tip like this, I just sort of use the entire side of the marker and just sort of blend it through like that. See how wide that can get by using the edge of that. So you will pick up a lot of interesting techniques by using these and other paint and brush markers over time, and that is why at first I didn't like brush markers, but then the more that I used them, they became my favorites, and regular markers just didn't seem to compare, you know? And yes, this canvas is an unusual, this canvas is it's not really what these markers were intended for. They're more meant for a flat surface. So since I brought that up, let's bring out this, which is a sort of earth tone sheet of art paper here. So I'll put this down here, then we'll zoom in a little bit more here. Art paper. So here is that deeper orange, and compare a similar line. Still, it is really able to be seen on this darker color surface. So impressive. These are great tools for you to enjoy using as you're coloring in the new year. So there's that earth tone orange, then a bit of the earth tone green, maybe oh wow, see, now that earth tone green really stands out on this brown paper for some reason. Maybe I'll make some sort of leafy shapes here, a vine or something, or just for the petals of a flower or whatever. Here they are. It can be so relaxing to just oh, I see, it's barely even showing up here. I need to move it into the camera's view. That is very nice. So, if you can, remember to buy acid-free paper, because if you create something really beautiful that you want to keep forever, you want to sell as professional art. If people are buying professional art, they want something that can last for years and years, obviously. So it's better to use acid-free paper, because the acid in cheap paper will actually, the paper gets yellow and then brittle and then crumbles far too soon. So here, another thing I've enjoyed using, look at this, shiny foil paper. So here's an example of a very smooth surface. What will happen for a smooth surface? I'll try just drawing on this, and wow, look how good it looks on this smooth surface. And a regular marker probably couldn't do this. But just be careful on some smooth surfaces, because the paint may bead off it, and if your hand goes back over it before it dries, it really will smear very easily. So, right, a shiny surface tends to keep the ink or paint that you have used right on the surface. So here is a smiling alien face. Oops. Let's see, is this in the camera? There it is. So I really like how cool this shiny metallized paper looks. I'm going to do more metallized art this year. All right, we'll try some of the purple color here. So this could be a shiny plastic surface. It could be shiny metal or something. So here is sort of a light flower purple from the tropical set. So here is the planet. Interesting. So this flower purple on this blue, it is so bright it almost looks white. It's coming across as a very sort of light pink, and that's interesting. you need to know about contrast and the way that the background makes what you do look a bit different. So there is a planet with a ring, like Saturn. Many planets actually have rings, but they're just less visible to the human eye from Earth. All right, let's see. You can see a bit of that purple color, I guess. And with this light orange, I will make a star. This could be fun for a birthday card or something, if your friend likes outer space. I don't know what I'll do with this after we're done here, but finish. Oh, interesting. So depending on the light, wow, look at that. So you can see the orange, you can see the green, and you can see the light purple. But then, if it's in the bright light, they look dark. Very interesting, very interesting. All right, so anyway, here we are looking at a few different examples of the Sharpie Creative Markers earth tones. Earth tones and then outer space. But here they are on a canvas with acrylic paint. Here is art paper, sort of cardstock, and here is a smooth surface, this metallized foil paper, and they look great on all of the different surfaces. So isn't that wonderful? And once again, I really recommend the Sharpie brush markers. I've had a great time using them on my casual art as well as fine art that I actually put in a gallery. Perhaps this picture will end up in an art gallery later on if I finish it and if I really like it, but let's see. But anyway, I still hope that they will make the earth tones colors in these brush tip markers. That would be good. And another thing that Sharpie could do that they haven't yet is, I've noticed some other companies have metallized ink, metallic ink, and that could be a cool thing for them to do. It shines, you know, it's got an iridescent color to it, so that could be a good addition to the Sharpie Creative Markers world, you could call it. Well, anyway, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to VJ Franz K here on YouTube. Also see Patreon, and I've got a lot of my art available to view on Instagram. I'm starting to post on Blue Sky also, so you can find me as VJ Franz K on there if you want, and lots of good things for the new year. So let's be creative, let's express ourselves in a positive way. Thank you so much for watching. This has been VJ Franz K. Please like, comment, and subscribe.